Hey book buddies, I'm Eric from Lonesome Reader. The Booktube Newbie 2.0 tag was originally created by a booktuber named Michael who felt that the questions in the popular Booktube Newbie tag were a bit too limited. I haven't actually done that first tag, but thought it might be fun to do this because the booktuber Adam at Memento Mori, that famous coffee-swigging Faulkner lover, kindly tagged me to do this video, and I haven't done a tag video for a while, so here we go. First question. What genres would you like to see talked about more on BookTube? I like how Michael, who originally created this video, said he'd like to see more classic novels discussed. I'd definitely like that too. That's something that Adam at Memento Mori does so well, talking about classic books, particularly classic American novels. I focus mainly on new books in my videos, so I guess I'm saying to myself that I'd like to read more classic literature. But even if I don't get a chance to because I'm so busy reading new books, I still love watching other people's BookTube videos discussing classic novels. Question 2. What do you feel is the best way to make friends on BookTube? Interact, comment, and engage with what a booktuber is actually talking about, and, importantly, don't get discouraged if you don't receive a reply. I've written plenty of long comments reacting to something that a booktuber talked about in their video and didn't receive a reply. And part of me felt, oh, they don't like me. Maybe they don't. But that doesn't mean that they didn't read and appreciate it. We're all really busy, and sometimes notifications slip down to a point where we don't see them. However, I do try to reply to most comments on my videos because I really appreciate the feedback. So yeah, that's my advice. Comment and keep interacting, and you might find a new bestie. Question 3. What do you enjoy the most about making BookTube videos? Getting a chance to show my enthusiasm and excitement about what I'm reading. Because reading means so much to me. It gives me life. But also the interaction and comments with people who feel the same. Question 4. What do you least look forward to when making BookTube videos? A few months ago, I would have said editing, but that's become a much faster process for me just because I've got a bit better at it. So mostly it's the speaking, getting myself to actually articulate what's going on in my head. I'm a quiet person. I mumble. I've been told multiple times throughout my life that I should see a speech therapist. So often I know what I want to say and I say it in my head, and then I go to say it, and my mouth just stays shut. I don't know why that is, but it means that there's long pauses, and it's why I have to edit my videos so much. More about this in a minute. Question 5. What videos other than tags, TBRs, wrap-ups, reviews, and recommendations would you want to see more of? I think interviews with publishers, book publicists, cover designers, editors, book agents, everyone involved in publishing. Recently, I was a judge on the British Book Awards, and it was so interesting how judging allowed me to see all this sort of behind-the-scenes action of what happens in publishing and how these people influence what books come under our radar and what we know about them. I know very few of us have access to people who actually work in the business, but it'd be interesting to see more about how a book actually comes to publication and that whole process and why it's presented the way it is. Or if their employer allows it, people who actually work in the business actually making BookTube videos. Question 6. What are some themes you want to see more of or less in books? Family sagas. I love a big family saga. Multiple generations, heirlooms, family trees that are trickling down the page that I can keep flipping back to as I'm reading. I love it. Fall on Your Knees by Anne-Marie MacDonald, 100 Years of Solitude by Marquez, The Shore by Sarah Taylor, The Lives of Others by Neil Mukherjee, Belle Fleur by Joyce Carol Oates. Love them all. If you have a favorite family epic, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Question 7. What are some of your BookTube goals? Like I mentioned before, reading more classic novels and speaking in my videos without long tumbleweed pauses that I have to edit out. I'm gonna take a sip of tea because it's the morning and I really need my caffeine. I love my Earl Grey. Question 8. What advice would you give to a booktuber that has just created their channel? The booktuber Britta Bowler, who also did this tag, had great advice. To not get disheartened that you don't immediately make slick, professional looking videos like some popular booktubers. Because if you go back to their first videos, you will see how rough their videos looked at the start. We all have to start somewhere. Also, going back to the earlier question, my advice is to edit the dead time out of your videos. I know some people don't like to see lots of edits in videos, I guess because it makes it seem less genuine. But personally, I get bored by watching people dither for minutes on end, trying to decide what they want to say. Sure, we all like to see someone's character and occasional bloopers, but who has time for lots of and ahhing? Cut that out before you upload. I think it shows consideration for your viewer. And another thing, I'm getting really opinionated now. I don't care about star ratings. Does anyone else feel this way? Please skip star ratings. And if you do, also say something substantial about why you've chosen this rating rather than just generic opinions. I've literally seen multiple videos like this. I gave this book 3.5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The story was okay. The characters were kinda interesting. This next book I gave 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The writing style was nothing special. I felt like I'd read this story before. I was mildly engaged. I'd rather hear specifics about why you liked or didn't like a book. I mean, that's why we're here watching videos about people who have read novels rather than reading ourselves, right? Question 9. What are some qualities or traits that you look for when it comes to watching other booktubers? People who are genuinely passionate about reading and active in doing so. Whether you're a quiet person or verbose, whether you make pristine videos or videos that look like they were filmed in a graveyard at night, whether you only get to read a few books a year or if you read 150 books a year, a reader's passion really comes through, and that's what I look for. Question 10. What is a fun fact about you or a hobby besides reading and writing that people on BookTube might not know you have? I love disaster movies. The bigger and more explosive, the better. Chaos, people running and screaming, the world coming undone. What's not to love? Elijah Wood running from a comet, Queen Elizabeth and her corgis boarding an ark, Jake Gyllenhaal trapped in a library, Kylie being bitchy at brunch before California caves in on her, Paul Newman in nothing but a towel atop a burning building, Jack Lemmon trapped in a plane at the bottom of the ocean, the Garthams chasing pod people, Little Orphan Annie hanging from the top of a bridge, and of course, Shelley Winters stuck in the spokes of a Christmas tree. The Poseidon Adventure, the original Poseidon Adventure, is the classic and best disaster movie of all time. Don't even argue with me about it, people. Question 11. Which booktubers do you tag? A lot of booktubers I know have already made this tag. It's been doing the rounds. But some booktubers I really like who haven't made it yet are Annie at Am I Right?, Helene Jeppeson, and Karen at Run Right Reads. Needless to say, I recommend all their channels, so I'll put links to them below if you click show more, and I'll also list all the questions in this tag video if you want to try it yourself. Go ahead, why not? Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have an excellent day full of bookish wonders. Speak to you again soon.